Dear students, in today's class, let us have discussion on electrostatic stress in a single core cable. Single core cable means that there will be only one conductor inside the insulation. So to understand electrostatic stress in a single core cable, let us consider the constructional diagram of a single core cable. In this constructional diagram, you can see a conductor at the center surrounded by insulator and that insulation covered by sheath. In very first class, on the underground cables, I had shown actual cables to you all. In those cables, there was a outer black colored plastic material. That outer black colored plastic material is called as sheath. Let the inner radius of the sheath be equal to capital R and the radius of the conductor be equal to small r. Permittivity of insulating material be epsilon and charge on the surface of the conductor per unit length be equal to Q coulomb. So let us write these details first. Let the charge on the conductor surface be Q coulomb per unit length. Epsilon be the permittivity of dielectric. R be the inner radius of sheath. R outer radius of insulating material. Small r be the radius of conductor. V be the potential difference. Between conductor and sheath. Now we can calculate the electric field at a distance of x from the center of this cable say here is a point and this point is at a distance of x units from the center of cable. At this point, what is the electric field? That is Ex we can calculate. Knowing charge on the surface of conductor, radius of the conductor and permittivity of the insulating material, and that electric field is given by, as you all have studied in your 12th standard, the electric field Ex at a distance x from the center of conductor can be written as Ex equal to Q upon 2 pi epsilon x, unit is volts per meter. So what is Ex here? Ex is electric field at a point which is at a distance of x units from the center of cable. Potential difference V can be found as, here to find potential difference V, we will make use of Ex, that is V equal to negative integral of capital R to small r. Ex dx, and that is equal to Q upon 2 pi epsilon ln of capital R by small r. Thus, the electric field or gradient can be written in terms of voltage as Ex equal to V upon x into ln of capital R by small r. Let us call this as equation 1 and this as equation 2. From this equation 2, we can understand that the maximum stress occurs when the value of x is minimum. That is, x is equal to radius of the conductor. Inside the conductor, we know that the electric field or gradient or electric stress is equal to 0. And the minimum stress occurs when the value of x is maximum. That is when x is equal to capital R. From equation 2, we can conclude that maximum electric field or gradient or stress occurs when x is equal to small r. Remember, electric field inside the conductor is equal to 0. That is, E max is equal to V by small r into ln of capital R by small r. Let us call this as now equation 3. And the minimum electric stress occurs at x equal to capital R. That is, E minimum is equal to V upon capital R into ln of capital R by small r. Let us call this as equation 4. For particular value of V and capital R, there exists a value of small r for which Emax is minimum. To find that minimum value of Emax, we have to differentiate Emax with respect to R, that is small r, and equate it to 0. Now let us do that. From equation 3, it can be seen that for a particular value of V and overall size of cable, that means for particular value of capital R, there is one particular radius of conductor that gives minimum value of Emax. The radius of conductor which gives minimum value of Emax is called as the optimal size of conductor. It is obtained by differentiating Emax with respect to R and equating it to 0. That is d Emax of d Emax by dr is equal to 0. That is d Emax by dr is equal to 0. Since in equation 3 numerator, that is V is constant, now we can differentiate the denominator of Emax and equate it to 0 to get optimal value of radius or optimal size of the conductor. Since V is constant, optimal size of conductor may be obtained by differentiating numerator alone and equating it to 0. That is, small r into small r by capital R into minus of capital R by small r square plus ln of capital R by small r equal to 0. If we cancel r into r with r square and r with minus r here, we get minus 1. So minus 1 plus ln of capital R by small r is equal to 0, or ln of capital R by small r is equal to 1, or capital R by small r is equal to E. The actual value of electric stress at the conductor is given by Emax equal to, that is, in equation 3 we have to substitute for ln of capital R by small r equal to 1 and small r is equal to r by E. If we do that, we get V by R into 1, that is equal to V by capital R by E, that is equal to V into E by R. Now let us call this as equation 5. Now we will plot Emax versus small r by capital R ratio. Now here is the plot of Emax versus small r to capital R ratio. You can see that when small r to capital R ratio becomes equal to 1 by E, Emax value is minimum. For small r to capital R ratio less than 1 by E, that is before 1 by E, the insulation is stable. That means the insulator acts as per the design. And for the ratio small r to capital R more than 1 by E, the insulating material becomes unstable. That means it won't operate according to the design. And it happens so because of the manufacturing defects. So, for stable operation of the cable, remember, for the stable operation of the cable, small r to capital R ratio should be less than 1 by E. We shall mention that here only. For stable operation of insulation, small r by capital R should be less than 1 by E. Dear students, I'll stop the class here and continue in next class. Thank you.